We went live with the listing on Friday and had a tenant moving in and paying rent by Saturday. So welcome, thank you for joining me. I'm excited to share with you how we made that happen. In fact, of course, we had a very happy landlord client for the quick turnaround time, but she actually asked, did we miss something? Were we underpriced? Like, how could this has possibly happened so quickly? And it motivated me or inspired me to, well, let me make a video and show you exactly what we do to make that happen time and time again. Now, one day on market is, of course, a trophy piece for us, but it is really common for our group to get single-digit days on market just because of the process that we implement on every single listing. So this is going to be a deeper dive video. Let's jump in and check it out. Today we're going to be looking in Foray Ranch and Providence Village, and there was a lot of competition, and there still is in this neighborhood. We're going to look at comparables and specifically ones that were like our listing. We can see different pockets available here. We're going to be looking up in this little pocket here, as I mentioned, Foray Ranch, and we can see very similar pricing throughout. Green means active, red means closed, and here we are. One day on market, 2.7% above asking. Very proud of that, of course. Now here's some of the active competition, essentially identical floor plans. I want you to take a note of photo quality. I'm not going to put an opinion on that myself, but something to keep in mind while you're looking. Now let's look at some days on market on these closed properties. We've got 12 days on market here, so really not bad. 19 days, still pretty good. Rented below asking, 13% below asking with 130 days on market, 19% below asking with 74 days on market. And yeah, not great numbers. That doesn't make for happy landlords, but here we are, 2.7 above asking with 1 day on market. So one thing that we do for all of our properties, our $1 million listings to our $2,000 rental listings, is a 3D tour. We want to make sure that when clients are applying, they're serious and they've essentially already walked the property, so they're not going to be surprised about how big the backyard is or isn't, or if something doesn't meet their needs. So 3D tour is super important, and it really just makes sure that we get serious inquiries. Now let's look at our photos. Our top 3 photos are going to be the ones that show up first. We include a floor plan, which is one of the most requested items from tenants and buyers. And we also use drone photos to really give the inquiries a good look of where they're at. Like I mentioned, professional photos, multiple drone photos, and then we even like to put in neighborhood data. Look at the top, it says 40 photos. That's going to be the max that you can input in the MLS. If you're not using all 40 spaces, then you're missing some opportunities to share information. It's very common for us to see listings with 5, 17, 24 photos, and they just leave the rest blank. Now this is a look at our actual MLS data sheet, and we go out of our way to completely fill it out. Room dimensions, every piece of criteria that room features. These are all criteria points that a tenant can filter through, and we want to make sure our listing is coming up all the time. And then property description is super important as well. What you put in that first sentence is what they're going to read most. It's very rare that a tenant reads the entire description, so you have to be very strategic there as well. Now let's look at some data here. This is actual CMAs. Right now we're looking at active properties, and we're going to focus on average numbers. So for all the active properties right now, the average list price is $19.35. Now that's just their asking price. And the average days on market is a whopping 75. Not great. But let's look at what's closed and specifically where we closed at. So we're going to be the third line down in gray, 4112 Belmont Drive. And we actually listed at $18.50 and closed at $1900 because we had such high volume. We had so many applicants, 102.7 over list price with 1 day on market. Now let's go look at the average of close pricing. The average close price is $18.73, so we're above that. We didn't have to go cheap to achieve the goal. And then the average days on market was 35, so I think one certainly beats that as well. So all of that work to get the listing live is just to attract the tenant. What do you do when you actually get an inquiry? Well, here's what we do. We reply back almost instantaneously. We have a simple system in place for them to tour the property very quickly. And once they're interested, we have an online application that takes them minutes to fill out. We have a background and credit check system online as well that also takes them just a few minutes to complete. And that would actually generate usually same day reports for us to evaluate whether or not they're a qualified tenant for you. At the end of the day, you do get final say as to whether or not you want to approve them. Once they're approved, we submit to them deposit links. Everything's happening quick, instantly, and online. There's no time to waste with these tenants. They're on to the next place if you're not moving quick enough for them. Most of these tenants need something now. Now, let me just share some numbers with you because this is really important and you've got to know this. We're just going to use numbers based off of this neighborhood. So the average rent rate is $1,900 as we established. Let's divide that by 30 days in a month on average. That's $63 a day. $63 a day that you are losing every day your property is vacant. Let's times that 63 by the average days on market for the active properties right now being 75. $63 a day times 75 days of being vacant is costing those landlords $4,750 already. Now, that is why getting something rented out is paramount to our clients. We understand that, and that's why we bring everything we've got to a $2,000 rental listing the same way we would for a $2 million listing. So if you need help with getting your property rented out, send me a message, DM, email me. This is what we do all day, every day. We'd be happy to help you.